a CAP infectious disease expert on why the Ebola outbreak in Africa is challenging to test and treat. Plus, new discoveries about cell aging and death provide a blueprint for understanding the biology of aging. These stories and more next. This is the Path News Network Daily Edition from the College of American Pathologists. I'm Elizabeth McMahon. It's Wednesday, June 17th. We begin with the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. Already, the rare Bundibujo strain of Ebola has infected more than 800 people with around 180 deaths, making it the third deadliest outbreak on record. Bundibujo is one of 4 types of ortho-Ebola viruses that can cause serious disease, making it more challenging to test and treat, says Dr. Ben Bradley of the University of Utah. The existing testing infrastructure is built for more common Ebola viruses.
The problem is they've really been built around finding that Zaire strain of Ebola virus, and that's what the tests that were available in the region where we saw this outbreak of Bundibujo first occur were built around. So they were not actually able to identify the Bundibujo virus in that area. It had to be sent to Kinshasa in the national laboratory there for the diagnosis to be made. So the capacity that they needed kind of on site for this was lacking.
Bundibujo virus was discovered in 2007. Dr. Bradley, medical director of High Consequence Pathogen Response, Virology, and Molecular Infectious Disease at ARUP Laboratories, says that medical test developers and international aid groups are working to get Bundibujo tests and reagents to the area. And while there is an FDA-approved vaccine against the Zaire Ebola strain, each new virus comes with its own considerations, making it a tough fight.
Really, the biggest thing for me kind of with this is for folks to understand sort of the idea of Ebola, the disease, having multiple different viruses that can cause it. And each of those different viruses needs its own test, needs its own vaccine, needs its own kind of strategy for that.
Find a link in our show notes for updates on the Ebola outbreak. For decades, scientists have known that as we age, cells die or can get damaged and contribute to disease. This process is known as senescence. But less clear to researchers is what cell types undergo senescence, where they are, and how they affect their environment. Now, a massive scientific initiative to decode how aging reshapes the body has published a wave of discoveries establishing an atlas of human cells undergoing senescence. The atlases map senescent cells in the brain, liver, and skin. The initiative is led by CENNET, the National Institutes of Health Cellular Senescence Network. Studies now appearing across top journals, including Nature Aging, Nature Genetics, and Molecular Cell, provide a blueprint for understanding the biology of aging. Scientists hope the open-source atlas will speed precision therapies for diseases. Medicare reimbursement, workforce shortages, immigration and visa uncertainty, they're major challenges that can put patients and your daily practice at risk. At the CAP, dozens of staff work with members to promote policy changes at the state and federal levels that protect patients and the profession, and they've never been busier. In a recent Capcast interview, Dr. Joe Saad, director of the Council on Government and Professional Affairs, discussed pressing priorities on the Hill with CAP member Dr. Carmen Gomez-Fernandez of the University of Miami. Dr. Saad said the real advocacy work starts in the states.
It's very important for us to motivate our pathologists in our states to join their state pathology society, also join their state medical society and the AMA. Put in a plug for both of those. Very important to be members because we can't do this alone. And we need a collective effort and wisdom of all our members. We're a small specialty. There's just under 21,000 pathologists practicing in the U.S., and we need every one of those that we can involved advocating for the federal issues and also advocating for state issues.
Dr. Saad says early career pathologists and trainees often need a spark from a mentor, a program, or colleague to get involved in advocacy. Once the spark is lit, it can endure. Listen to the full discussion on advocacy and federal policy challenges for pathologists at the podcast link on the CAP homepage. And finally, how do you really feel about AI tools in science? If your feelings can be summed up with the thumbs down emoji, you're not alone. A recent poll of more than 1,900 researchers by the journal Nature found that nearly half feel broadly negative towards AI, with 63% saying that the risks of using AI tools to analyze data and scientific literature outweigh the benefits. Only 23% felt that AI tools were having a positive impact on research, while 31% said the technology was negatively affecting science. Many scientists felt FOMO, or fear of missing out, if they didn't use it. Despite their concerns, nearly 60% of respondents felt that they would be left behind if they did not use AI tools in their work. That's all for today's Daily Edition. Be sure to check the show notes for more information on today's stories. Got a story you'd like us to cover on the Daily Edition? Write to us at stories@cap.org. We're back at 5 a.m. Eastern for another episode of the Daily Edition. I'm Elizabeth McMahon. Have a great day.